Hey aviation enthusiasts! Today we're diving into the future of flying sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF for short. As airlines race towards a greener future, SAF is leading the charge. First up, let's talk commitments. In October 2021, the International Air Transport Association, representing about 290 airlines, pledged to achieve net zero CO2 emissions by 2050. They believe SAF will account for around 65% of the needed emissions reductions. That's huge. Airlines like United, Delta and Virgin Atlantic are setting ambitious targets to integrate SAF into their operations by 2030, ranging from 5% to 30% of their fuel mix. United Airlines made headlines in 2021 with the largest SAF deal ever, agreeing to purchase 1.5 billion gallons from all the fuels. They've also invested in SAF producers and launched the Sustainable Flight Fund, raising over $200 million to scale SAF technologies. Talk about commitment. Delta Airlines is aiming to replace 10% of its jet fuel with SAF by 2030. They're part of a partnership with California to achieve 200 million gallons of SAF annually by 2035. Virgin Atlantic, after its historic 100% SAF transatlantic flight in 2023, is targeting regular SAF use and net zero emissions by 2050. British Airways and Qantas aren't left behind either. BA plans to power 10% of its flights with SAF by 2030, while Qantas aims for a 50/50 SAF blend for their Los Angeles, Australia routes, supporting Australia's broader SAF ambitions. Even budget airline Ryanair is in the game, with plans for 12.5% SAF by 2030. Governments are stepping up too. In the United States, the SAF Grand Challenge targets 3 billion gallons of SAF production by 2030, aiming for a 20% reduction in aviation emissions. The UK has mandated that 10% of aviation fuel be SAF by 2030, while the European Union's Refuel EU aviation regulation sets a 70% SAF blending mandate by 2050. Singapore and Japan are also on board, supporting SAF through mandates and subsidies. Now let's talk about the broader context. The scale-up of SAF production is critical. As of 2023, US production was just 24.5 million gallons, less than 0.1% of jet fuel use. Globally, capacity was at 1.5 million metric tons in 2024. Airlines and governments agree that policy incentives, investment de-risking and feedstock diversification are vital to meet projected demand of 16-20 million metric tons by 2030. Collaborative efforts like the Clean Skies for Tomorrow Coalition are fostering public-private partnerships. Airlines often use book and claim systems, buying SAF credits to support production even when not physically using the fuel. In conclusion, while challenges like cost and supply scarcity remain, the push for SAF isn't just about the environment, it's also about bolstering energy security and creating rural jobs. With global policy alignment and significant investment, the sky's the limit for sustainable aviation. Until next time, keep your seatbelts fastened and your eyes on the horizon.